What up, what up, what up, and welcome to the iBall radio coverage of the 42nd annual Huntsville City Classic here in Huntsville, Alabama from Huntsville High School. I'm your host, Derek Williams, also known as D-Will, the coach, and I'm here with my guy, Lance Gilbert. Y'all know him as Lance from Huntsville, from the iBall radio live call-in show, and also the producer extraordinaire on the ones and twos. My guy, Breezy, is in the building. As y'all know, man, we are here in day 3 of the Huntsville City Classic. Right now, we have the third place game about to tip off between the Huntsville High Panthers and the Grissom Tigers here in the second game of the day here on the big court. Was a game in the back gym also. And it also, Lance, it was a game that was canceled today.
That got me scratching my head. How do you do that?
And the crazy part about it is local teams. It's not like it was a team that was from out of town that needed to get back.
Saved on some hotel money and food
Right,
money.
exactly.
Right here in the same zip code.
Right here, man. So that game did get canceled between I think it was James Clemens and somebody, bro.
Mae Jemison.
James Clemens and Mae Jemison game did get canceled. Earlier today, just for a recap, Thompson loses to Fairfield 50-40. Fairfield played a lot better basketball game. Also, in the first game of the day, Enterprise takes down Sparkman 54-50. Lance, in this game coming up, man, Huntsville High versus Grissom, we all know this is a area game and also a huge rivalry game. Kind of tell me, what are your thoughts going into this basketball game?
I'm interested to see if Huntsville's got some bounce back. Last night was a huge game, and they're now 17-1, their first loss on the year.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been reading body language.
Right. It's up and down.
And, we know what Grissom has this year. Could they smell a little blood in the water and maybe do something that nobody could expect them to do?
And like you say, nobody expects Grissom to win this basketball game, right? In the preseason, everybody picked Huntsville High to go undefeated in this area, right? Not just win it, but go undefeated in the area, which is still a big possibility as they go up. This is an area game, but it's not considered an area game because it's a tournament game. So it's not considered that. But I will say it's going to be a good contest, and it's going to be leading up into. Now, this game really is never a depiction of what the area is going to look like. However, we do have our predictions, and I expect Huntsville High to come out in this basketball game, but and play very well. But I will say this before we get into that. We had a chance to talk to Coach Christian Swears prior to the basketball game, and he gave us a little lowdown on his thoughts last night. But the most important thing, I think, was what he said to his team prior to this game, right? And I quote, he was like, hey, we had a game less than 14 hours ago that we had a huge letdown on. We get a chance to play again. We don't have to wait 3 or 4 days. We don't have to sulk in this loss. We can go right back out and play. And he's really anxious to see how his team responds.
I think that's going to be huge because, you're not so much worried about December. You're trying to get to March, right?
Correct.
And so when you take something like that maybe is a little bit unexpected,
Mm-hmm.
what's the resiliency of your team? What's you're learning? You're still learning about your basketball team right now to make sure you make adjustments so that that's not a surprise in March.
Right. And that's why you play these type of games, right? That's why you play showcase games during the year. That's why you play big time tournaments like this during the year, because it prepares you for that time. Like, you're trying to get prepared for March. I spoke with Sparkman's head coach, Coach Threadgill, and he mentioned that. He was like, man, we played in this because we wanted to get the experience, because we know we got the area with Grissom. We know we got Huntsville High. We know we got Albertville. We know we have a tough schedule ahead of us in our own area. So we wanted to be battle tested going into the area play.
I think that area is very interesting. It's Huntsville at the top, and
we missed another picture. I'll get the Huntsville kids up here afterwards.
And who is going to finish second?
Right.
Because then you talk about the pairings coming out of that. Could be interesting leading into Jacksonville.
Yeah. Hey man, a 4-team area is it can be really tricky, right? Because you don't want to lose in day one. However, you could possibly be in a situation where you finish 3rd or 4th. You got to come play on the road at Huntsville High, and that's a tough place to come win, even if you're 3rd. Like, if you're 3rd, you got to play. You're 4th in that area, man, and you got to come in here and play Huntsville High for the area. you're about going to lose that basketball game. So it is very important, in my opinion, for guys to play well and to win these games. So as the game has started, man, we're early in the first quarter. No score, 7:16 to go. Grissom with their first possession, 15 seconds on the shot clock. However, JD Gossett fouls Javon Alexander on the play. Ball underneath. So we're just going to talk y'all through this for a little bit, man. Just preview the game, let y'all know. Let's just talk about last night a little bit, man, while we still got it.
I'm still buzzing off that.
Me too, man.
Ooh,
me too. One. Like, the atmosphere was just completely incredible, man. And you have to love that for a tournament game, right?
I love the crowd. Thought it was over.
Mm-hmm.
Police weren't letting them back in.
Right.
All the drama on and off the court. It was just everything you want.
Right. Like, everything you want in a high-level basketball game happened last night, man. And like you say, Bob Jones came out on top in a thrilling, surprising win because, like I say, I didn't think Huntsville High was going to lose a game in the city this year. That's just my opinion. I didn't think anybody was going to be able to really challenge them inside the city of Huntsville or in Madison County. I'm going to tell you, I paused because what I was saying is not as important as what I'm about to say now. I love that we got the shot clocks above each goal. I love that we're starting to play with them. I love they're implementing that. But I think it's something that is vastly important that needs to be put in to high school basketball. And that is the block charge circle. We just saw it just happen. If I watch another referee call a foul underneath the goal, that's not a charge. We got to stop bailing them out, the defensive players out who just flop and fall. All right, D, flop and fall under the goal and get a charge call.
But also, if Simon Walker plays on 2 feet right there,
true,
it's a little different.
True, if he jump stops and listen, go straight up and shoot the jump shot instead of shooting the floater. Right? It's a lot of things you can do. But man,
so
did you see
that? Yeah, they're playing for a little something.
Right, little chippiness out there. Can't give him that. Simon Walker off on the jump shot. Pass Braden Rivers. Back to Simon. Dump off to Josh Bowman. Josh Bowman misses a bunny. He was contested, but he has to make that, man. As a Division I big in this game, nobody on Grissom is over 6'4" tall on the floor. You got to score on top of everybody.
And this is the second possession now where Grissom has got a offensive rebound and extending their possession.
Well, and the thing about it is, Grissom's up 3-0 here early in the first quarter, 5:32 to go. Huntsville High is not playing with that enthusiasm right now.
Nope.
Braden Rivers just showed some toughness, diving on the floor, picking up that basketball. But I want to see them play with some sense of urgency on the offensive end. Like I say, they're so manufactured in their offense by sets, right? Braden Rivers knocks down a wing three-pointer. Nice shot by him. But everything is orchestrated off sets. Nothing is improvised with Huntsville High. And a lot of times that can get you in trouble.
Well, I'll tell you one of the things that watching all these teams for the last couple of days, I've seen some good coaching and I've seen too much coaching at times where the coach is trying to orchestrate every single play, every single minute of an offensive set when sometimes just go be a basketball player and make a play.
Right. And you need guys on your team like that, bro. You need guys who can, like you say, improvise, who can, hey, clear out, go get me a bucket, right? And I'm not saying Huntsville High doesn't have those guys, but they don't have any ISO one-on-one guys. They really just don't. JD Gossett is a really good player. He can break you down off the dribble, but you wouldn't consider him an ISO guy. Neither would Eli Stapler, nor is Braden Rivers or Simon Walker. So Coach Christian Swears understands that. He doesn't have a man. He doesn't have a Messiah Morris, somebody you can give the ball to and get out of the way and just go flat and get a bucket. So, I think it's going to be different for Huntsville High this year.
Shot clock violation.
Oh, it was. I love seeing those. I'm going to be honest, which I love seeing those. I don't like turnovers, but I love seeing shot clock violations. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go a little off script right here right now. Eli Stapler is rocking his Lucas. He told us at the preseason media day over at Alabama A&M, the North Alabama iBall Radio North Alabama Media Day. He told me he was playing in Lucas this year. Dude, I saw him I think this is his third pair of Lucas I've seen him in. JD Gossett said he's playing in Kobe's. He got on a pair of exclusive Kobe's right now. So those guys really stuck to what they said in the preseason. Look at JD Gossett. He turns it over, and he just works harder than everybody else to get the turnover back. Gets to the line. I love him, man. I really do think JD Gossett. Listen. I don't want what's your man name at Lipscomb? Acuff, is that him?
Lenny Acuff.
I don't want him to get mad at me, right? Acuff, all right, don't get mad at me. But I think JD Gossett needs to go somewhere else. No, let me rewind that. Sorry, Acuff. I think JD Gossett can go higher than Lipscomb. He's just such a good basketball player. Like Lipscomb got a steal in snatching up JD Gossett early.
You know, evaluating talent is interesting, and we've seen a lot of that this weekend. And it's more than ever so. Is it about talent or is it about fit?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and are these kids going to where they fit the program, the culture, the style of play, and the pieces that are around them? You know, we talked about like Carson McKinney from Thompson. Where does he fit? And I think those are the conversations that make a kid valuable. If they're a valuable fit and piece of that puzzle that they already have, hey, I don't care what level you're at. If you can go and produce, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. And I'm glad you said that. Speaking of Carson McKinney, man, we just watched him have a really good basketball game, knocking down 3 3-pointers in that game, if I'm not mistaken. And he's just a guy that's interesting, right? He's a 2026er, so he's just a junior, right? But like, where does he fit, right?
I hadn't figured that puzzle piece out yet.
Right. And I know he's a next level player, right? He's going to play college basketball somewhere, but it has to be, and you want this with every player, right? You want to go where you're loved, not where you're tolerated. And it's going to take somebody loving Carson McKinney. And when they do that, they're going to get a player who can really produce for
them. And he's one of those guys also like he enjoys playing the game of basketball.
Oh, yeah.
You see the smile on his face. You see that he's enjoying it, trying to make his teammates better. He's a great passer.
Yep.
I think that's one of the strongest parts of his game. But I love seeing guys like a Caden Rickett last night that, you know, you can tell he just loves the game.
Right. He played very well last night. But here we are, man. 3:16 left in the first quarter. Huntsville is up 4-3. Low scoring game right now as we're halfway through the first quarter. We will be back, man. Probably at halftime. We'll probably come back at halftime. We're going to go check out that game in the back gym, Ramsey versus Hazel Green. So that's a game we're going to be checking out also. So at the end of the first quarter, we're going to take it back to the Ramsey game. And at halftime, we'll come give you an update on both games here on iBall Radio and iBallRadio.com, streaming live on the iBall Radio YouTube page. Until then, we're out. Peace. And we're back here live from the 42nd annual Huntsville City Classic here at Huntsville High School in Huntsville, Alabama. It's halftime right now. Huntsville High Grissom. Huntsville High leads 29-16 in the back gym. I think it was 41. I forget 36-41. Ramsey's leading by 5 at halftime in the back gym in the Ramsey versus Hazel Green game. Very good basketball being played right now. Lance, kind of tell me what you're seeing so far in the first half of this basketball game.
Well, Huntsville's making shots and Grissom's not.
Yep. And that's sometimes basketball is simple. It's you miss or you make. And it's nothing more after that, right? We can sit here and I can break down, bro. I can go through possessions. I can go through sets. I can go through reasons and all this basketball terminology of why things happen. But in actuality, it's the simple things. You either make or you miss.
And really, it's been Braden Rivers. He's been the difference.
All right. Right. Yeah, 12 points so far here in the first half. I think he has a couple of three-pointers already. Playing very well. Braden Rivers, a guy who signed with UNC Asheville, going to play Division I basketball. Listed at 6'7". That's basketball height. Okay. I live in basketball height because what I don't understand is why they measure guys with their shoes off, but they don't play basketball with their shoes off.
No barefooted basketball in America.
Unless you're in prison. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way. That's the only place they play barefoot basketball.
We ain't scouting nobody in there.
I'm not scouting nobody in there. So my thing about it is he's 6'7", a guy who can shoot the three, extremely athletic,
energy guy.
Like you say, he does all the dirty work for Huntsville High. And that's probably going to be his role on the next level, is a guy who can do all the dirty work. He can guard multiple positions. He's a 3-and-D guy. He can guard and he can shoot the three, right? A lot of people say, oh, 3-and-D isn't that a small forward?
And he's bouncy. I like it. I like his bounce.
Extremely athletic. You got to love it. Extremely athletic, man. So I'm glad that he's playing well. Been waiting on him to have a breakout game here, and it seems as if he's having one against one of their top rivals.
We got to pause for a second. We got to give a shout out to Hudson Schmidt, 19 consecutive games as the ball boy.
Shout out, Huddy. That's you.
19 consecutive games.
And Huddy is on the court right now.
He's getting his picture taken.
Hey, man, I got to get my mixtape from 2 Live Q. 2 Live Q, man, the #1 videographer.
He's getting it.
Out there, man, right now. Tell him Breezy loves Q. Breezy loves Q, man. 2 Live Q, one of the dopest videographers out here in the Huntsville area. I guess he just did him a mixtape of Huddy. Huddy just got a mixtape because he needed to see it.
Big shout out to the referees,
right?
The people working concessions, the doors, security, score table. Everybody's put in work this week.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you like this. Shout out Drew D.R. Mine, man. Drew D.R. Mine from 97.7, the Zone. Also, Huntsville High's scorekeeper. He has been doing an immaculate job.
19 consecutive games.
I don't know if he's 19 up, but I'm saying he's doing a great job of keeping the stats. But I can't believe they just shot it out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out Huddy, man. I need to get Huddy on the mic, man. We're going to get Huddy up here and ask him, how tough is it being a ball boy?
Hey, and he's on the mop.
Oh, and he on the mop. He the ball boy and the mop boy. Come on, man. Tell me somebody working harder than Huddy, bro. Tell me somebody working harder than Huddy. MVP of the Huntsville City Classic for the 3rd consecutive year.
Hey, if there's any DJs out there that are interested in putting some music together for the 43rd annual, hit us up.
Yeah, because I got an eerie feeling, man, that we're gonna have a lot to do with the 43rd annual Huntsville City Classic. I'm just saying.
I got 43rd.
I got a feeling we're gonna have a really big deal in that. But here we are, man. Coming out of halftime, 29-16. Huntsville leading Grissom. We will keep you updated on the rest of this game. We'll come back at the conclusion of the game to give you an update, and we will also give you the updates on the Ramsey versus Hazel Green, which will conclude just about the Huntsville City Classic. We will have one more game after that, which would be the championship game, which would be played at 5:00 p.m. right here at Huntsville High School. So if you can make it by for the Buckhorn versus Bob Jones game coming up.
Be sure to holler at us. We're not hard to find.
Yeah, man. See us, man. We up here in the booth. Hey, I'm going to say it again. If you come by and say hi, we got a bracelet for you. Come get you an iBall radio bracelet. Just come by the booth. give us a high five, say what's up, and say where my bracelet, and we got you, bro. But
and all the people showing love, we appreciate it.
Yeah, man, we thank y'all, man. We might throw some bracelets in the crowd to the kids, man. But we'll just see what's going on, man. But like I say, man, we'll be right back. Well, not right back, but we'll be back at the conclusion of this Grissom Huntsville High game for the third place game here at the 42nd annual Huntsville City Classic. We'll be back.